The name Mene was usually given to the most beautiful and respected woman in Ethiopia. At 11 weeks old, which is 80 days, on the 21st of June, she was baptized Walata Georgis, which is the same as Walet Georgis in the Ethiopian Orthodox St. Dalberg Georgis Church. So last year.
The daughters saw her and blessed her. Yea, the queens and the concubines, and they praised her. Song of Solomon 6, verse 9.
The elders. Empress Menen was the daughter of Aspa Ali, Jantira of Ambassel. Jantira is the title of the head of the family holding the mountain fortress of Ambassel. Her mother was Wazero Serhin Mikal, daughter of King Mikal of Wallo descendant or Muhammad, who had family members residing in Ethiopia since the year 615 AD. Empress Menen can trace her lineage to Abdullah bin Muhammad al-Bakr V in the lineage of descent from Prophet Muhammad. King Mikhail was a Muslim until he converted to Christianity after Emperor Johannes had ordered all Muslims to either convert or give up their positions of power and wealth. Empress Menen's grandmother was Wazero Fantir Gabriel, a direct descendant of Emperor Susenyos I in the Sefer Melkart line of King Solomon.
Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thy ear. Forget also thine house and thy own father's house. Psalms 49, verse 10.
The youth. Empress Menen grew up in relative luxury and was known to be kind, compassionate, and devoutly faithful to Yah. She had home tutors, a scholar named Mandu, and a monk named Abba Woku. She gained various academic qualifications, including home economics and spinning, and Ethiopian tradition, and she was also good at reading and a skillful writer.
I have a comforter. Right up in Zion, for he is
both were in fasting and constant prayer until the early morning hours as they prepared to take on the mantles such as Elect of Yah, Rose of Sharon, Bright and Morning Star, and Light of the World. For the first time in Ethiopia's history, Empress Menen was crowned Queen of Queens alongside Emperor Haile Selassie, King of Kings, on November 2nd, 1930, at St. Gregor's Church in Addis Ababa. Her Imperial Highness was given a gold and ivory scepter. At the foot of the scepter, the name of Yah is engraved, and the Pentacle of Solomon, the 5-point star within a circle. Her Majesty was crowned Iktijina Menene, which is the title of an empress. It is noted that His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie set a new precedent for how women is to be viewed by changing the course of Ethiopian history, insisting that the empress be crowned, coronated on the same day as the emperor and not 3 days later as the custom, noting that both are from the King Solomon and Queen Makeda lineage. Rastafari.
Who is she that looketh forth as the morning, fair as the moon, clear as the sun, and terrible as an army with banners? Songs of Solomon 6.
Holy marriage in Harar. Empress Menen, like Emperor Haile Selassie I, was of the Solomonic dynasty. And Queen Makeda. It is said by the family members, although royal marriages are arranged, the two genuinely loved each other, and the holy marriage which took place on August the 3rd, 1911, was one of mutual consent. Holy matrimony is one of the 7 sacraments of their faith, and so unconditional love is practiced continuously. They lived in peace within the relationship for 50 years, 6 months, and 8 days, having 6 children from this sacred union. 3 daughters and 3 sons, many grandchildren and great-grandchildren. The first daughter, Prince Tenagna, born January 1913, christened Fakurate Marianne. She had 6 children and many grandchildren. Second daughter, Princess Zanabe Wog, born July 1918, christened Herute Selassie. She transitioned in March 1933, having no children. Third daughter, Princess Tashay, born October 1920, christened Walate Bahani, and she transitioned in August 1942, having no children. The first son, Prince Asfawasan, heir prince, born July 1960, he was christened Amaha Selassie. He had 5 children, including the present heir, His Imperial Highness, Zariako Asfawasan. Second son, Prince Makonnen, born October 1923, christened Araya Yohannes. He later became the Duke of Hara. He had 5 sons and transitioned in May 1957. Third son, Prince Sahal Selassie, born February 1931, christened Abba Dinah, and was baptized as Makani Selassie Church in Addis Ababa. Crown Prince Asfawasan Haile Selassie and Prince Sahali Selassie, of the 6 children, only 3 survived. Tenagna Wark, Crown Prince Asfawasan, and Prince Sahali Selassie.
Let us be glad and rejoice. Give honor to him, for the marriage of the Lamb is come, and his wife has made herself ready. Revelations 9, verse 7.
Character of the Empress. As the
mother of six, the Empress balanced a stable family life together with her husband. She became his trusted advisor in national and international affairs. She strengthened the confidence of millions of women by educating them and giving them opportunities to shine. Her garments were always royal, elegant and extremely appropriate by international standards and indeed. They showed her royalty with the finest of silks, cotton, and other fine fabrics woven with gold, silver, and velvet. She performed perfectly in her role as Empress. In public, she combined religious acts, concern for social causes, support for development schemes, with the majesty of her imperial status. She was a dutiful wife, visit schools, churches, exhibitions, and model farms. She attended public and state events at her husband's side or by herself. She took no part in political or policy issues. Behind the scenes, she offered advice and assist with the writing of the elegant speeches of His Majesty. She was also known as being courageous.
Instead of thy fathers shall be thy children, who thou mayest make princess in all the earth. Psalms 45 verse 16. Why not do right and live? Why not do right and live? The wages of sin.
The wages of sin is death. The wages of sin is death.
The wages of sin.
The wages of sin is death. But the gift of Jah is life.
But the gift of Jah.
And the gift of Jah is life. One more time. Yes, the gift of Jah is life. The gift of Jah is life. In Mount Zion, with the Alpharan, the Omega, Father and Mother of creation.
There was a time when an army revolution broke out, and His Majesty was taken hostage. Her Majesty commandeered a tank to break through the garrison's gate and free her husband. During the invasion, November 18, 1920, the emperor went to the north battlefield, the empress stayed in Addis Ababa and prepared logistics. They were sent to the battlefield. When the plane bombed the civilians, she advised the people to take care. She traveled by car in the city to advise and encourage the people while praying, profusely waging the spiritual war against the enemies. The Holy Empress made a royal commission. She had faith in the Almighty Yah. She had faith that her husband, King David, would defeat the Italian Goliath, and that Yahweh will remain true. David's throne will remain the seat of the earth, rightful ruler, forever and ever. Later, when the Italians had invaded Ethiopia, she was willing to give up her most prized material possession, her crown of Makeda, Queen of Sheba. She made a pledge to the Virgin Mary at the Church of Nativity in Bethlehem, promising to give her crown to the church in Ethiopia, where liberated from occupation. Following the replica of the crown was made for her public appearance, while the original crown was given to the Nativity Church of Bethlehem. She would never again wear the full crown.
Empress Menen was known to be devoted to the traditions of the Ethiopian Orthodox Tewahedo Church, including honoring of holy feasts such as Easter and Sabbath days, with much fasting and prayers and strict observance of church rules and regulations. This made her a model queen for all women in Ethiopia. She went to St. Mark's Church every morning and stayed up until 9 a.m. receiving nuns and monks that came from different churches and monasteries. She received women who lost their husbands in the war and tried to fulfill whatever they asked of her. The Empress never alienated other churches. She read their books and paid attention to the interpreted views of the church.
King's daughter were amongst the honorable women. Upon the right hand did stand the queen of gold of Ophir. Psalms 45 verse 9.
Her achievements. Founder of the Ethiopian Women's Welfare Association,
1935, which consists of 54 members. These played a role in preparing medical supplies, gas masks, and bandages for the military. They also assisted women and children affected by the war. They ran orphanage, provided training programs for destitute women, promoting handcrafts and traditional eateries to employ women. Patroness of the Ethiopian Red Cross and the Ethiopian Women's Charitable Organization, supporting and encouraging nursing students. She also appealed to the women's organizations abroad for material and moral support. She was also a woman of peace and called on women worldwide to help resolve conflicts. Patroness of the Jerusalem Society that arranges for pilgrimage to the Holy Land. Her Imperial Majesty, Empress Menen, gave generously from her personal funds to build and renovate numerous churches in Ethiopia and in the Holy Land, Israel. Among these are the Kadein, Moret, Our Lady Covenant of Mercy, Church on Mount Entoto, and the Holy Trinity Monastery on the banks of the River Jordan. She fulfilled her promise to the Empress Taitu in 1923 to build a new church east of Addis Ababa. Empress Menen knew spiritually that Empress Menen would be empress in the future. The church became a monastery called Tamareh Noah, which is a shelter for Christians. There is holy water near the church where the people immerse themselves and drink from. The people give thanks to the empress for the holy water. In September 6, 1926, on a visit to the sacred land Jerusalem, Her Imperial Highness Empress Menen
monastery, the clergy, and she inaugurated the church. In 1943, Her Majesty reconstructed the Bonut Trinity Church, which was devastated by the Italian aggressors in Wallo province. She donated 56,500 birr from her private account. In 1945, Her Majesty set the foundation stone to construct a new church around the fertile rank Captain East area named St. Raphael. In 1950, 14 sacred books from the church were printed by Empress Menen. 38,000 were sold and money donated to the Siwaswi Birmingham St. Paul's School. Moreover, she gave part of her mother's estate and many houses in service of the school. In the same year, she renovated the Ship Church, located in the Ambassador region in Wallo, her native province. With her own money, she constructed a road that the faithful ones can have access to the church. The Empress Menen donated toward the building of the new cathedral of St. Mary of Zion at Oxum, but transitioned before it was completed. Even though she ailed in her last years, she continued her good works, giving her estates and residence areas for the priests and deacons of St. Mary Church. She founded the Empress Menen School for Girls for boarding and day students and presided over its graduation ceremony.
The Empress Menen bought the land of the former German mission, investing hundreds of thousands of birr. The Empress gathered blind orphans to facilitate her learning and teaching process. The Empress gathered blind orphans to facilitate their learning and teaching process in reading and writing, adding a new building, paying 200,000 birr for 100 boarding students from December 1949. She sponsored programs for the poor, the ill, and the disabled. In 1941, on Empress Zambidito Avenue, the Empress Menen gave her estate around Oria area from the school named after her daughter, DinahDay War, and for orphans whose parents were killed by the enemies, and also to the free slaves. In 1948, on the instruction of His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I, that the Ethiopians should wear the cultural attire so the coming generation will follow the example. Her Imperial Majesty took the initiative for the first time in the new year. In 1949, she visited the St. Trinity Spiritual School as she was a model for spiritual youth. Rastafari.
I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations. Therefore shall the people praise thee forever and ever. Psalms 45, verse 17. Giving.
We are happy We give our best without a rest, and we're filled with true happiness. Oh yes, and we're filled with true happiness.
Fighting, fighting.
Fighting, fighting, fighting through the test. Truths and right things must surpass the rest. We are happier when we are fighting, for we're fighting for the right thing. So we give our best without a rest, and we're filled with true happiness. Oh yes, and we're filled with true happiness.
Joy life.
Joy, life, peace, health, help and charity. Heavenly mansions are prepared for us. We are happier when we are giving. For it's then we know we are living. So we give our best without a rest, and we're filled with true happiness. Oh yes, and we're filled with true happiness.
And we're filled with true happiness.
True happiness. And we're filled with true happiness. In Mount Zion, lifting up her hand, we only Father and Mother of creation. Zion throughout her transition. In October 1961, the beloved Empress Menen received medical treatment for a weakened heart. Prayers went out throughout the nation from priests, monks, nuns, church members, as well as the sheikh and cadis of Islamic mosques for her recovery. She regained her strength for a couple of months, but on February the 15th, 1962, our beloved Empress Rosara Menen transitioned due to her failure and was laid to rest in the crypt of the Holy Trinity Cathedral in Addis Ababa, among the tombs of her children. However, on the request made by His Imperial Majesty, her remains were taken from one place to the next, from the crypt in the year 2000 to a grand sarcophagi, also called a sarcophagus, in the northern transept of the Holy Trinity's Cathedral nave, built by her husband, Emperor Haile Selassie I. Tributes were paid to her from the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Alilu Habte Wodi, from Yared Yabri Michael, and from her husband, the Emperor of Ethiopia. In her legacy, it was said there can only be one Empress Menen in the lead for female redemption. together with Rastafari as the head, leading us all to redemption, and this will come at the appropriate time. Long live the Queen of Queens, the Empress Iti, Wazara Menem Aspar, Walek Georgi, Rastafari live. And blessed be the time that burn. Blessed be the time that binds us in Christian love, the fellowship of kindred minds is like to that above. Before our Father's throne, we pour our ardent praise. Our fears, our hopes, our aims, our wants, our comforts and our cares. We share our mutual woes, our mutual burdens bear, and often fall each other's flaws. The sympathizing tears when we asunder part. When we asunder part, it gives us inward pain, but we shall still be joining hands and hope to meet again, and hope to again in Mount Zion with King Alpharan, Queen Omega, Father and Mother of creation. Rastafari give time.
I will make thy name to be remembered in all generations.